Hi there. This is Brenda Bailey, your instructor, and I wanted to talk about the syllabus in this video here in the Welcome to Class. So we're going to go ahead and click on the syllabus, and I'll just highlight a few things. You can download this and copy it off if you'd like to. Let's see, I need to change that to fall, but I'll get that done. First off, my office is on second floor of the Whitney building for those of you that are in Sheridan. This is my cell. If you ever need to contact me, texting me to this cell is probably the quickest way. I do try to check my email often, but not as much as my cell. So if you really need to get a hold of me, you can text me. Otherwise, you can email me, and that's just fine. Now, the classroom is online. This is asynchronous. What this means is that we will not be meeting as a class, as a unit. What I have done is I've created videos, which I'll explain, and you watch the videos if you need to, you do the homework, and then if you have questions, you can contact me individually, but we do not meet as a class as a whole. Now, office hours, I will be working in the Math Center on the Sheridan campus for those of you that are here. And the Math Center is, it's on second floor of the Whitney building, room 201. That's a room number. I'm not sure exactly when I will be there, and I will let you know on that one as well. This is, if you need to Zoom with me for some help on some problems, then here's the link to my Zoom room. So you can click on that to get to this, to the Zoom room, or I can email you a link right before we meet. This is a link to my YouTube channel, which has got my lessons, but this is not the easiest way to get to the lessons, and I will explain that later. A description, the prerequisites, co-requisites, none. The textbook, it is optional to buy the textbook. You do not need to buy the textbook. What is required is access to Pearson My Math Lab. Now, Pearson has the book, an ebook, this book here embedded in it. So it's not like you don't have access to this book. You will through your online software. Now, the course ID number is this right here. And I have detailed instructions for registering with Pearson, how to do all of this in the Welcome to Class module, which is where we're at in the Canvas shell on the hub. So I do have detailed instructions, a video and a PDF on how to get this required platform, your online software for the class. Here we have the purpose. Now, grading is probably what you're more interested in. 50% tests, this includes the final, 35% homework, and 15% quizzes. When you're, my percentages for grades, 90, 80, 70, 60. If you get an 89.5, I do round up. That might help you. I want to caution you on maybe not doing the homework. If you don't do the homework or the quizzes, the best you can get in the class is a 50%. And that's if you get 100% all the tests. So it's really important that you do the homework for 35%, that you do the quizzes, and that you do the tests and the final in order to pass the class. So keep that in mind. You do need to do the homework. If you just did the quizzes and the tests, obviously you would get a 65 in the class, which is not enough to go to your required degree classes. Oh, let's see. Homework assignments. When you do the homework assignments, if they're late, I do deduct 10%. Which is not a lot. So it's still worth doing. A 9 out of 10 is better than a 0 out of 10 on your assignments. On the tests, I do not deduct for late tests. but I do caution you not to wait till the last week. What I do on tests, if you miss a test, I put a 0, and then you have a chance to replace that 0. Right. And let's see, here's the final exam. It's embedded in the test as far as its score goes. Grading disputes. Okay, core abilities. Okay, competencies. These are the things that we'll be talking about in the class. And minimum course requirements, again, homework, quizzes, exams, academic honesty, attendance policy. This is, you just have to do your homework, your quizzes, and your tasks because we don't meet as a class. Disability, health, and safety. Okay, the last thing on the syllabus is a tentative course outline. Uh, weeks 1 through 3, we'll be doing chapters 1 and 2. And we'll start 3. The first exam will include both chapters 1 and 2. And then we'll start chapter 3 if there's time within these first 3 weeks. Weeks 4 and 5, these 2 weeks, we'll talk about chapter 3 and chapter 4. All right. And then we'll have an exam over chapters 3 and chapter 4. So you have a couple of weeks there. There'll be some quizzes, homework assignments. And then week 6 and 7, chapters 5, decimal notation and ratios and proportion. And then once we get to week 8 and 9, we just start we kind of slow down because the material gets a little bit harder. So we'll have percent notation, 10 and 11, we start our algebra. That continues through 13. And then we have weeks 14 and 15, a review, and your final exam. So we have a little bit of wiggle room if we need to move into week 14 if we need to. All right. That's just kind of a quick overview of the syllabus. I encourage you to let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.